What is up, guys? In this video we are going to take a look at where can we get high quality 3D assets for our game. We did something like this for Unity from the site called Mixamo. I'm hoping that I'm pronouncing that right. If not, there are probably gonna be some of you guys, wise guys, in the comment section below. Technically that's not Mixamo, I don't care, okay? Anyways, let's move on with the tutorial. So here I have a new project and I'm gonna go into Blueprint and you are going to select the third person. So we're gonna use the third person because I want to see the whole character, and just select it. Make sure that you have the starter content, or actually we don't need it. So no starter content. Desktop console is fine. All of this here is fine. Just set your folder where you want to save your asset and also name it and click on create project. Nothing new we did not do so far. So when you have that done, this is what you will see. Now, the time has come to go and do the main thing of the video. So let's go over here in google.com and then type mixamo.com. And when you go over there, this is what you will see. And of course, the first thing that you will do is you will log in. You will see here a login button. I have logged in with my Google credentials. You can log in however you want to log in, add your password or whatever. Just don't give out your mom's credit card. Anyways, when you do that, we are gonna go here under characters. So click on the characters, and here you can select which character you want. And I want this one. I want the arrow lady, and let me just go over here and mirror it actually in place. So I'm gonna select this arrow lady. And by the way, let me just close this and go again on mixamo.com because I did this already and it saved all the settings. So let's go over here. I have the character. Here is the arrow lady that I call it. It's Akai Espiritu or whatever. So I'm gonna use that character, and what you're gonna do is when you select it over here under characters, this is what you will see. It's gonna be in the T pose, and you're going to download it. So you're gonna click on the orange download button here at the top right corner, and then over here you're going to select the FBX format, not FBX for Unity. This is what we did for Unity. So for Unreal, it's different. Select the FBX, and over here select the T pose and click on download, and it will start downloading it. Now, the next thing to do is go here in the animations. So over here, we're going to get an idle and a walk, or actually a run animation. So in the search bar over here, we're going to type idle and hit enter. So it will show you all the idle animations. Now, when you select one of these idle animations, whatever or whichever animation you select, for example, let's try this one, it will preview it on your character right away. Now, it's not important which animation you select, whichever one you want. So right here is the idle that I have selected, if you want to select the same one. So it's basically the first one from the left side on the third row. So this one over here. Now, with this animation, you will see that the hands of the character are too close to its body. What you can do is click on the character arm space over here and set a higher value, for example, 60. And now the hands are a little away from the body of the player. Maybe at 65, just a little bit more, and voila, this is what you have. Now, when you're satisfied with the animation and all of the stuff that comes with it, click on download over here. Now, again, you're going to select FBX, 30 frames, with skin, no. Instead, without skin, you're going to select, and here, keyframe reduction, none. So again, make sure that you download it without the skin, because the first 3D model that we have downloaded a moment ago has all the skin you need. So click here on the download and it will start downloading it. I'm not gonna do that because I already did it. And over here now in the idle, I'm going to say run and hit enter. So now we're going to get a run animation. And over here you can select, let me see, which one did I select? I think I am going to, let's try this one. Actually, this one, it looks kind of weird. Let's try this one over here. And you see the preview of the animation and the character is running. What you can do is click here, mirror, or actually, excuse me, in place over here, and it will make it run in place. I'm going to lower the overdrive, which will lower the speed of the animation. So let's say 40. Let's put it on 40. This looks nice, okay. Maybe I'm going to also set the character arm space a little bit wider. Well, this all depends on you. It's not important. It will not affect anything. I'm just showing you some settings that you have over here. When you're satisfied with the animation, click on download. And again, FBX without skin, none over here for the keyframe reduction, 30 frames per second. Click on download and you are good to go. So now we can finally go inside of our Unreal Engine editor and we can import the character. Now what I'm gonna do is create a folder over here and I'm going to call it 3D character. So 3D character like this, hit enter and open the folder. And let me go inside of my download. Here is my 3D character. Now the first one that I'm going to import is the 3D model itself. Now you see over here I have, and I'm going to delete this. This will be automatically created, this folder, when we import this in Unreal Engine. But you see we have the idle animation, we have the running animation. Now I'm going to, as I said, I'm going to first import the 3D character. So drag him from here inside of the Unreal Engine and this is what you will get. Now just make sure that over here, let me just find it. Where are the textures? So here, import textures. This checkbox needs to be checked. Make sure again that this checkbox is checked. Look here where I'm highlighting with my tool. So this needs to be checked or otherwise you will not have any textures for your character and he will look like, I don't know, like he's sucked dry by a vampire or whatever. So click on import all and it will import the character. Just wait a moment or two and here it is. This is our character. And you can see here we have the textures, we have the materials and all of the good stuff. Now what I'm also going to do is go back again over here and I'm going to import the idle animation. So drag and drop it over here. All of these settings are okay. Click on import all and I'm also going to do the same thing for the running animation. Drag and drop it, import all, and voila, we are done. So now moving forward, now we can finally start to create our character. What I'm going to do is take the main character over here, this dude that comes by default. So this one, I'm going to select him, third person character. I'm going to delete him from the scene because we're going to create our custom own character. So Control Shift S to save everything. And right click inside of the 3D character and I'm going to select the blueprint class and select the character and I'm going to call it Akai Blueprint or Akai underscore BP and let's double click it. Open this bad boy here in the blueprint editor and what I'm gonna do is for the mesh over here at the top left corner here under the mesh and skeletal mesh options, click on the drop down list over here and select the Akai 3D character and here he is. This is the bad boy. This is the bad girl, actually, not the bad boy. So also moving forward, I am going to move or reposition it. So select the mesh and I'm going to set the Z position at -99 and the rotation Z is going to be -90 like this, as you can see. Now, what I'm also going to do is take the capsule and resize it. So select the capsule component over here. And for the capsule half height, I'm going to say 99. And for the half radius, or actually radius, I'm going to say 18. And voila, this is what we have. I'm pretty satisfied with this. And let me just compile and save. What I'm also going to do is click on add component and we're going to filter for the spring arm. So simply type arm and here you will see spring arm and click on it. And select the spring arm now and click on add component and attach a camera component on the 3D or on our character. Now, when it comes to the camera component, I'm going to move it a little bit up like this and I'm probably going to rotate it like this. So just rotate a little bit down, compile and save, and there you go. So let me just move to my movement tools. Compile and save again. Now, in order for us to load our character in our game, so if I go now over here and hit the play button, we have our default character, which is this dude over here and yada, yada, yada. Now, what I'm going to do is go in the project settings and click on the maps and modes. And over here, click on the selected game mode. You see the drop down list. And now over here for the default pawn class, as you can see, we can click on the drop down list and we can select our Akai BP, which is our Akai blueprint, which is our game object over here. So if I go back and hit the play button, voila, this is our character. We cannot move him. We cannot do anything with the character because the character is not being programmed or blueprinted, technically to say, before you guys start to, I don't know, kill me or whatever. So let's quickly add the controls. We already have the input done because we selected our third person character. So we have the input axis for moving forward over here, which means when we press the W and the S key, we will move right as well, turn and look up rate. So let's go over here and I'm going to delete all these events. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm going to say here, get control rotation, which is going to get us the rotation of the character. And I'm going to break that rotation, so break rotator, and I'm only going to get the yaw rotation, which is the Z rotation, which is going to rotate the character left and the right. So from here, I'm going to drag and drop over here. I'm going to say make rotator. And no, I'm not going to plug this into the roll. We're going to plug this into the yaw input like this, because the Z rotation goes inside of the Z rotation. And over here, we are going to say get forward vector. So we're going to get a forward vector to move forward. And also we're going to get the right vector to move right, like this. Simple. Now that we have all the components, we can get our input. So here I'm going to say move forward, which is our move forward event. Here I can say move right, which is our move right event. And over here we can add the movement input. So right click and type add movement input and duplicate it, because we're going to have two movement inputs, one for moving forward and backwards and another for moving right. So here, move forward, I'm going to plug it in, an axis value, I'm going to plug it in over here, and the direction is going to be vector forward. Over here, I'm going to do the same thing, but for the move right, and plug the scale over here and plug the world direction over here, compile and save. Now we are able to move. So if I go over here, we are able to move. You see, we can move our character left and right and forward and backwards, but we cannot rotate. In order to rotate, we need to add our turn and the look up. So over here, I'm going to say turn, and this is our turn for, well, turning. And over here, we have the look up, not the look up rate, but look up only. This bad boy over here. And we need the yaw input and the pitch input. So over here, I'm going to say yaw. And here it is, add controller yaw input and pitch input. Over here, I'm going to say pitch, which is our add controller pitch input, and simply plug this in over here and the axis value here. Plug the look up here and the axis value over here. Compile and save, and let's go back. And now we can move, or we can actually rotate left and right, but we cannot rotate up and down. Now the issue for that is over here under the spring arm component, because it controls the camera. We need to select it and we need to click on it, use pawn control rotation, which will allow the spring arm to be controlled by the rotation of the pawn, which is our game character. So if we go back now by checking that checkbox, and here if I press the play button now, you see look up, we are looking up. If I look down, we are looking down. And now if I move, we are moving. So we have the movement covered. Now what we need to do is create the animation to move him. Well, when we are moving, we are going to display or preview the running animation, and when we are standing still, we are going to have the idle. So for that, inside of the folder, the 3D character, right click and go inside of the animation, and we're going to create an animation blueprint and select the Akai skeleton. If you select the mannequin, it will not work. So select the Akai, and over here, I'm going to say Akai animation BP. Now for this bad boy, double click it, and currently we cannot do anything for it because we do need to create a blend space for it. So I'm going to right click, animation, and we want the blend space 1D. And again, select the Akai, and over here I'm going to say Akai idle move. This is how I'm going to call it. Double click it, and now over here we're going to animate it. As you can see right away over here in the asset browser, where I have drawn pointing with this huge arrow, you have the idle and the running animation for our character. So select the idle and plug it in over here at the very left or far left, and select the running and plug it in over here on the far right. Now here under our axis settings over here at the top left corner, we are going to click on the drop down list for the horizontal axis, and the name is going to be equal to speed. The maximum value of the speed is going to be 375, and save that. And also Control Shift S to save all. Now pay attention over here when I move the preview, which is this green keyframe. As you can see, if I move the preview like this, he's in the idle. If I move it over here, he's in the run animation. So we're going to take this idle and go back here in our animation blueprint, and we are going to simply move it over here. Actually, not the idle, but the Akai idle move, this one. This is our blend space, and we are going to plug that into the results and compile and save, and there we go. So automatically, if I go back here in the blueprint and select the mesh, and under the animation for the mesh over here, if I select the animation class as an Akai animation BP, compile and save, and if I go back over here, we will see now he is in the idle animation. If we move, it will still be in the idle animation, which is something that we don't want. And we need to fix that. Now, fixing this is going to be very simple. What we need to do is go over here inside of our blueprint animation. And you see we have the speed variable over here that will determine as you can see over here, the speed controls the animation. If the speed is a higher value, up to 375, our character will start running, as you can see. If it's equal to 0, it will stop. So this is that blend. So over here under variables, I'm going to click on plus, and I'm going to create a speed variable and click on the icon of the variable over here and select it to be a float. Compile and save. And over here, I'm going to get it and plug it inside of the animation, which will be that parameter. So when this speed has a higher value, our character will start moving. And in order to achieve that, we need to go in the event graph over here and get you see, try get pawn owner. So we're going to try to get the owner of this animation instance. So from the event blueprint update animation, from here, I'm going to select is valid, which is going to check if our pawn owner is valid, meaning if he is not equal to null, meaning we have an owner. If that is true, so if it is valid, we are going to go over here under set, and we're going to set the speed, but we're going to set it to what? Well, from the pawn owner, we're going to get his velocity. So get the velocity. The velocity of the game object, or in this case, the actor or the character, that's the same thing, actor, character, pawn, they're all the same thing, an element that you can put inside of the game. So when he is moving, the velocity will not be equal to 0. Now, if you want to get that velocity, because this is a vector, as you can see, this velocity will be returned as a vector, but if you want to convert this into a float or a single value from 0, for example, from 0 up to, I don't know, 300. So let's go over here in character movement. And when you select the character movement here, you can set the maximum speed. Let me just see where it is. Maximum speed for the character, rotation, enable. I don't see it. Probably you do. I don't see it over here. It's not important, but somewhere over here is the maximum speed. What I can do is speed. Here it is. Maximum walk speed. Here it is. We set it at 600. So we can set that at 375 to match up this value over here. But basically, when we get the velocity here, that we have that from our pawn, it will return this velocity over here from our character movement. And if you want to get a round number, because this is a vector has x, y, and z, because we have velocities on x, y, and z. If you only want one number from 0 up to the maximum speed that you just saw over here, we are simply going to say, drag from here, we're going to say vector length. Here it is, and it will return a float, and we're going to plug it inside of the speed now, and we're not going to touch anything else. Just compile and save that, Control-Shift-S to also save it. And basically that's it. It will set the maximum vector length will be the speed value, and it will increase when we move. So if I go back now and hit the play button, and if I try to move, you see, bam, we are moving, as you can see. Now, we don't have controls to rotate the character. As you can see, I'm moving to the left side, but I'm looking forward. We didn't program or blueprint the controls to look in the direction if I'm just moving like this. We don't need to, because that is not the point of this tutorial. The point is to show you how we can combine these animations. You can see now we are in the running mode. If I stop, we are in the idle. Again, if I run, we are in the running mode. If I stop, we are in the idle. And this is how you can get high quality assets on Mixamo.com, and how you can implement these assets inside of your project or whatever you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. You're weird. You're doing weird things. Anyways, that is it from me for this tutorial. You can download this complete project. Link will be in the description below if you want to learn more about Unreal Engine. I currently have four courses on Unreal Engine in my academy. I'm gonna start working on a complete C++ only, without blueprints, without anything else, so only C++, and that will be added soon. I'm hoping in the next 10 days or 2 weeks or so. But yeah, I will add more courses. Just click the link below and enroll inside of my Ultimate Game Development Academy. Until then, fire here from Asus.com. I will catch you guys in the next video.